I'm curious the gamesmanship, the game of verbal ping pong with Luka and Draymond Green.
Oh,
Verbal
man.
bouquets right now. Everybody, Draymond's one of my favorite players. Love the way he plays. Luka's unbelievable. He's unstoppable. How long does this last, Tim?
I would say probably within the first 8 seconds of the game, there's going to be some sort of a verbal back and forth. The first time Luka, goes into the lane and tries to back somebody down and throws his arms into somebody, gets a call. Draymond will immediately start in, and at no point over the next 6 or 7 games, however long it lasts, will Draymond stop talking about what Luka's doing, and vice versa. This is going to be fascinating because there is a whole nother layer to Luka that has to just drive players insane. And it's the constant smiling, the grinning, the look on his face of, man, am I having fun out here? And God, is this easy? And what drives think about it, Dan. I was thinking about the other day when he was doing it to Booker, right, in that game. And it started off, he was doing it, by the way, not when they were up 40. He hit his first 2 threes of the game and he was grinning like that. He knew something, right, that nobody else knew in that moment, which is, I am in a great place right now mentally, and I am by far the best player on the floor. We're going to be just fine. But I was thinking, imagine anything you did competitively in your life, right? You go play golf with 3 of your buddies, and every shot a guy hits for 4 hours, he's laughing, and you can't beat him. Or you're in a boxing match, and a guy's tuning you up and then steps back between jabs and just grins at you. Like, what could get under your skin more? And that's what Luka is doing to people right now. And it's going to get chippy, physical, however you want to describe it. The bottom line is, I don't think anybody is capable of getting this guy off his game. The pace he plays with, his physical strength, the way he anticipates what's coming his way, I just don't think he's affected by anything that's in front of him. He is so unique and so fascinating because of it.
It would bother me more if a guy just grinned as opposed to smack talk.
I agree.
Right? Like that's going to hurt. When you laugh, you're laughing at me. Like, if you want to go back and forth and we exchange words, that's one thing. But when you're just laughing, you don't have to say a word. Oh, man. Because Booker is he's not even making eye contact. He's just staring straight ahead, and Luka's like looking up at him like, hey, you mad, bro?
It's just that picture it did make me laugh out loud, just because the nature of it. He's looking up like he literally, if I could put a thought bubble on Luka Doncic at that moment, it looked like he was saying, it's going to be okay, little buddy. You'll be all right. Yeah, you'll get one to drop. Don't worry. Keep trying. And then if he makes one, literally, he's at the point almost where in that game, he was going to be like, there you go, right? See, it's fun making shots. When it goes in, it's a lot more fun. Like, I just can't think of anything more galling. At one point, he went in there, he got hit, converted, and literally was smiling, and it took his hands and kind of like rubbed his hands through his hair like a model. And I'm going, what is happening out here? And so look, he is special. Obviously, this guy is something else, man. And I think, Dan, halfway through his rookie year, I described him in this way. Larry Bird is my favorite athlete of all time. And I said, this guy kind of reminds me of Bird, but with a better handle and a quicker first step. Now, think about that combination. That's kind of what we have. He's got the nerve. He's got he's not as pure a shooter as Bird, but in some ways more lethal because he can string together shots from deep, off the dribble that Larry really didn't do. And so for me, the IQ, obviously, the passing ability, he's incredible. And that's why I think Dallas has a legitimate shot in the series. I'm picking Golden State to win the series, but this is not going to be easy.
Yeah, I've mentioned this before. There's certain players, and I liken them to, if we were going to attach music to their game, it's jazz. There's a jazz feel to Kawhi Leonard that he just moves at his own pace. And the same with Luka. In a sport where athleticism is always on display with speed, being able to jump, quickness, they get to where they need to go. You know where they're going to go, but you can't stop them. It's just one of those weird dynamics about basketball that I don't know if you can explain certain players being able to do it in a certain way at their own speed.
Yeah, completely. And you know, I watched some of the guys guarding him right now. I mean, look at Mikal Bridges. He was runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year. The guy's got, like a 7'2" wingspan. He's 6'8". He's committed to it, and he had no ability physically to dictate anything to Luka Doncic. Like the great defensive players in this league, typically the reason that we talk about him in that vein, Dan, is because they dictate terms to a certain extent. Now, look, you're going to have great players make shots on guys. But over the course of 48 minutes, they are dictating what they're going to allow you to do because they're that strong, they're that quick, they're that relentless. And Bridges wasn't able to really do any of that to Luka Doncic. And look, Draymond Green is not going to get a ton of him. He'll get him on some switches. This is going to be more about Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins than anything else because they've got the size, length, strength. But when you watch what Luka's about to do to those guys, he hits him with that shoulder on the back down. He knocks you backwards, and then he spins away to get to that fadeaway. There's just not a lot you can do. And if you want to run somebody at him, okay, here comes Dorian Finney-Smith and Bullock and Jalen Brunson and Bertans and all these guys, Kleba, and they can make 18 threes in a game. That's why, like, it's going to be fascinating to me. The number one thing I'm looking for tonight is not the initial coverage. What does Steve Kerr do as the game progresses, as the series progresses, to mix up coverages on him? Because you cannot give him a steady dose of anything in one game, because that's a formula for disaster if you're Golden State.